The monk bowed low. The King of Dreams had skin as pale as the winter moon, and hair as black as a raven's wing, and his eyes were pools of night, inside which distant stars glittered and burned. His robe was the colour of night, and flames and faces appeared in the base of it, and were gone. He began to speak in a voice that was gentle, yet as strong as silk. "You are welcome in this place," he said, in words that the monk heard inside his head. "But you should not be here." "I have come," said the monk, "to plead for the life of a fox, who is, in my world, lost in dreams. Without your aid she will perish." "And perhaps that is what she wants," said the King of all Night's Dreaming, "to be lost in dreams. Certainly she has a reason for what she has done, and it is a reason you know little of. Besides, she is a fox. What is her fate to you?" The monk hesitated. "The Buddha taught us to have love and reverence for all living things. This fox has done me no harm." The King of Dreams looked the monk up and down. "And is that all?" he said, unimpressed. "Is that why you desert your temple and come to me? Because you love and revere all living things?" "I have a duty to all things," said the monk, "for, as a monk, I have put behind me all the bonds of desire, all worldly ties." The King of Dreams said nothing. He seemed to be waiting. The monk lowered his head. "But I remember the touch of her skin, when she pretended to be a woman, and it is a memory I shall take to my grave, and beyond the grave. And the ties of affection are very hard to break." "I see," said the King of Dreams. He stood then, and stepped off the dais. He was a very tall man, if he was a man. "Follow me," he said. They walked through a waterfall which ran down one wall of the palace. It brushed and breathed on them without making them wet. On the other side of the waterfall was a small summer house, and it was to this place that the King of Dreams led the monk. "Your fox also came to me, and asked for a gift," said the King of Dreams, "although she was more honest about her love than you. And I gave her my gift. She dreamed your dreams. She dreamed your first two dreams with you, and then she dreamed the last dream for you, and she opened the box with the key." "Where is she?" asked the monk. "How can I bring her back?" "Why would you bring her back?" asked the King of Dreams. "It is not what she wants, and it will not bring you happiness." The monk said nothing. The king pointed to the table in the summer house. On it there was a small lacquer box, which the monk recognized from his dreams. There was a key in the lock. "She is in there. Follow her, if that is what you wish." The monk reached down, and slowly he opened the box. It opened and opened until it filled the entire world, and with no hesitation the monk went inside. Chapter 6. At first it seemed to the monk that the inside of the lacquer box was a familiar place that he had somehow forgotten, perhaps his room as a boy, or a secret room in the temple that had remained hidden until this moment. There was nothing in the room but a mirror in one corner. From the mirror came a gentle glow, as of sunlight in the final moments of the day. The monk picked up the mirror. On the back of the mirror was a painting. It showed two men. One was a fierce, proud man with hunted eyes and a grey beard. The other figure was clearly intended to be the monk himself, although it was covered with stains and mould. He turned the mirror over and looked into its face. He saw a green-eyed girl, who seemed almost as if she was painted out of light. When she observed him looking at her, her face fell. "Why did you come here?" she whispered sadly. "I gave my life for you." "You were asleep at the threshold of the door," he told her. "I could not wake you." She tossed her head. "I hunted the Baku," she told him. "I went to the place where the Baku go, and went with them as they ate dreams, and I entered your dreams as you dreamed them. I was there with you when your father gave you the chest, and as you woke I kept the chest. And when your grandfather gave you the key, I took it from you as you woke. Through all the next day I followed you, and when night came I lay down at your door, in the place that the dream would have to come on its way to you, and I slept. I saw the dream slipping through the darkness, and I sprang upon it, and made it my own. And in the dream I opened the chest with a key, and it opened, huge as the sky, and I had no choice but to enter. And then I was very afraid, for I was lost in this box, and I could not find my way out again. I had lost the path that would take me back to my body. I was scared and sad, but also I was proud, for I knew I had saved your life." "Why would you do this for me?" asked the monk, although he knew already that he understood why she had done it. The fox spirit girl smiled. "Why did you search me out?" she asked. "Why did you come here?" "Because I care for you," he said. She lowered her eyes. "Then, now you have come here, and now you have learned the truth, you must know it is time for you to leave. I have saved your life. The Onmyoji, who is your enemy, will die in your place, and you can return to your temple and grow your pumpkins and your silly dry yams, and, when it is appropriate, say a prayer for me." "I have come to free you," said the monk. "It is my task." "And how would you free me?" asked the girl sadly. "Can you break the metal of the mirror?" "No," said the monk, "I cannot." And then he pronounced the name that had been written on the slip of paper that Benzuru Harada had given him on the bridge. Standing beside him was the King of Dreams. "Well," said the king, "are you ready to leave this place?" "My lord," said the monk, "I am a monk. I own nothing but my begging bowl. But the dream that fox dreamed was my dream by rights. I ask for it to be returned to me." "But," said the king, "if I return your dream to you, you must die in her place." "I understand that," said the monk, "but it is my dream, and I will not have this fox die in my place." The King of Dreams nodded. His face did not change, but it seemed to the monk that he was saddened by this, but that he was also pleased, and the young monk knew that his request had been the correct one. The king gestured, and the mirror lay empty on the floor, while the fox spirit stood beside the monk in the dark. "You have done the right thing, at some cost to yourself," said the king to the monk, "so I shall, in my turn, do something for you. You may have a little time to say farewell to the fox." The fox spirit threw herself to the floor at the king's feet. "But you swore to help me," she said angrily. "And I helped you." "It is not fair," said the fox. "No," agreed the king, "it is not." And, calmly and imperceptibly, he left the two of them alone in that place. That is all the tale tells us of this moment, that he left them alone to bid each other farewell. Perhaps they said formal farewells, awkwardly, the space between them, between a man who had forsaken the world and a fox spirit, a gulf that could not be crossed. It is certainly possible. But one remembers all they had done, one for the other, and one might conjecture that, at this time, they made love, or that they dreamed they did. Perhaps. When they were done with all their farewells, the King of Dreams rejoined them. "Now all will be as it should be," he said, and the monk found himself staring out from the mirror at the fox. "I would have given my life for you," she whispered sadly. "Live," said the monk. "You shall be revenged," said the fox. "The Onmyoji who did this to you will learn what it means to take something from a fox." The monk looked at the fox girl from the mirror. "Seek not revenge, but the Buddha," he said to her. Then he turned and walked into the heart of the mirror, and he was gone. The fox sat in the wilderness of rocks beside the huge black fox of dreams. "All that I did," she said, "everything I tried to do, all for nothing." "Nothing is done entirely for nothing," said the fox of dreams. "Nothing is wasted. You are older, and you have made decisions, and you are not the fox you were yesterday. Take what you have learned, and move on." "Where is he now?" she asked. "His body is on the sleeping mat in the temple. His spirit will go where it is meant to go." "So he will die," she said. "Yes," he said. "He told me not to seek revenge, but to seek the Buddha," said the fox spirit sadly. "Wise counsel," said the Fox of Dreams. "Vengeance can be a road that has no ending. You would be wise to avoid it." "And?" "I shall seek the Buddha," said the Fox with a toss of her head. "But first I shall seek revenge." "As you will," said the Fox of Dreams, and the Fox could not tell if he was happy or sad, satisfied or dissatisfied. And with a switch of his tail he bounded away across the landscape of dreams, and left the little Fox more alone than she had ever been. She woke in the little temple on the side of the mountain, beside the body of the monk. His eyes were closed, and his breath was shallow, and his skin was the colour of sea foam. It hurt, having already said good-bye to him, to have him still there, but she stayed with him and attended to his body. He died peacefully on the following day.